Hello, friend. This is Ryan Hicks of theresellermindset.com. And for this Reseller Friday, I want to talk to you about do not be afraid to ask for a better price. Now, I've talked about negotiation in different videos in this series, Reseller Friday videos, but this is something that keeps coming up. I keep talking to people, and it's amazing how many people just don't ask for something. I was talking to somebody today, and they were surprised about, what, you mean you can really ask for a different price at a Walmart? Yes, you can. And I gave them the example of I was at a Walmart and a manager was talking to me because I had my cart loaded full of stuff. I don't know if they were wondering what in the world I was doing, but they asked me if they could help me. And I said, sure. You have this clearance section over here. What kind of price could you give me if I bought all of those items? There's about 50 items or so. It filled up like 3 carts total. And it was board games or something like that. And he said, well, hold on a second, let me check. And he did something on his phone and came up with a price that was 75% off of the clearance price. And I bought them all. You cannot be afraid to ask. Now, maybe some people are ashamed, like embarrassed they're going to ask. This is your business you're running here. You want to negotiate the best price possible. You're not trying to take advantage of anybody, especially these stores. You can't take advantage of them. But they might be willing to make a deal with you if you're the right person at the right time. Now, if I was coming in there, I was going to buy 2 of those items and I wanted the deal, I'm not going to get that 75% off deal. 75% off the clearance price, which is important because it really came out to like 90% off. But because I was going to buy all of them, he saw a prime opportunity to get rid of all these dead stock games that are just sitting there and free up the space where he can now put more profitable inventory. Everybody's winning. Do not be afraid to ask. I don't care if you're at a garage sale or if you're at a Walmart or if you're at a Target. I don't care where you are. You can negotiate a better price. Now, does that mean every time people are going to work with you and negotiate with you? Absolutely not. Some places will flat out tell you no. But you'll never get a yes if you never ask. You'll never get that better deal if you're always hiding in the corners afraid to even ask. There's nothing to be ashamed of about being a reseller. I get that some people make it look bad because they're slinking around, scanning stuff on their phones, looking all suspicious. You're running a business. Why can't you negotiate a better price? You just need to ask. And yes, will some places tell you no? Of course they will. That's no big deal. You be kind and polite. You don't get mad. You don't get in an uproar. And an important thing to note is you don't do this all the time. So if you're going to a thrift store all the time, and every single time you're there, you're trying to negotiate a better price, they're going to get sick of you and they're not going to want to deal with you. And they're probably not going to negotiate any deals with you. Now, I say that, but if you were buying a lot of inventory each and every day, they might be willing to work a deal out with you every single day. I bought so much at some thrift stores that they literally come to me and tell me about all these items they have and would I be interested in them. And they make deals for me without me even asking. But that comes from building a relationship. That comes from actually being in the position to buy the stuff when the opportunity arises. You got to make those deals and you got to be willing to ask in the first place. Here's the thing. People are afraid for whatever reason to ask for a better deal, a better price. Why? Think about it. Really get back and think about this, because when I deal with all my videos, whether it be this website or talktoprofit.com, I'm dealing with your mindset. And I want you in the abundance mindset, living that abundant life that Jesus came to give you. But you can't do that if you're cowering in fear. You can't do that if you're ashamed of what you're doing. Unless you're doing something wrong, there's nothing to be ashamed of being a reseller. What, are you afraid that people are going to think less of you? Who cares? They're going and working some 9-to-5 job, miserable, and feeling like they're prostituting themselves to go work for somebody just to get some pay. They don't even want to be there, but they're doing it, selling themselves each and every day. Why do you respect those people's opinions? The way they degrade themselves, working some miserable job that they hate simply for money because they're in love with money. There's nothing to be concerned with those people's opinions. It doesn't matter, and it shouldn't matter to you. There are so many opportunities out there that you will miss if you don't ask for them. You can ask people, do they have anything to sell you? Friends and family and coworkers or wherever. You can ask, you can mention it. Whether you're at the post office, you can mention it to random strangers. Hey, do you have anything to sell? I buy X, Y, and Z. Whatever. There are opportunities all around you from people who want to sell you things at a fair price that you can make a profit on, and they are happy to get rid of the items. Literally just today, I got a deal on items that are worth over $400, some are $700 for $25 each. A big, huge lot of all of them because I put myself out there and I mentioned I'm looking for people with inventory. Do you know anybody has inventory? And someone responded and they had a bunch of inventory and now I got it. These things can work out for you if you're looking for the opportunities and you're putting yourself out there and you're asking, you're mentioning it to people. If people say, well, I know somebody has a storage unit full of this thing, go talk to them. Don't be, what's the worst that can happen? They tell you, no, I don't want to sell it. You will get people like that sometimes. Sometimes people will be kind of married to their items and they don't want to sell anything. That's all right. You don't get mad at them. You don't sulk off. Not every deal works out. That's all right. But you'll find there's many people out there who are willing to make a deal for a very fair price for you. And in many cases, they don't even care about the price. They just want to get rid of the stuff. Think of this. Somebody has a storage unit full of old inventory. Maybe they had a business somewhere and it's full of all this old inventory. They don't need it. They haven't looked at it in years. And each month they're paying a couple $100 a month to just store stuff that's not making them a penny, that's just sitting there. Those people are willing to make a deal in many cases. They wanted to get rid of the stuff, close the storage unit, and save that $2,400 a year. There are deals available to you, but you have to ask. You can't be ashamed. You can't be afraid. Consider what is the worst that could happen, and it's nothing. They tell you no. What do you think if you ask a thrift store for a deal, they're going to ban you from the store? Of course not. Unless you're being rude or socially weird or awkward, nobody's going to care. They're just going to say no if they don't want to. Or what happens in some cases, and from my experience, it happens more often than not, they'll say yes. Maybe they don't agree with exactly what you're offering, but they might have an offer, a counter offer that works out fine for you. But you'll never know if you don't ask. So get out there and ask. Get out there and tell people, hey, I buy this particular thing. Do you know anybody that has a bunch of that? Do you know anybody that'd be willing to sell me it? And you just never know what you're going to find. But you'll never get those opportunities if you don't ask. My friend, I pray this is a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.